When I think about UT Dallas, I think about the future.
How can I make it better?
What do I want to be?
How can I make a difference?
I think we're making the future our own. At UT.
It's creativity.
It's innovation.
It's exciting.
Intellectually, it's very fulfilling.
It's just different. Seriously different.
I think we do a really good job of combining art with technology.
It's this great blend of hands-on experience and research.
Our research is helping to improve the performance of wind farms.
Our lab is uncovering new techniques to target harmful bacteria. We're reducing electromagnetic interference in electric vehicles.
UTD was founded by tech pioneers.
And you can see that everywhere you go.
Walking around campus, I feel inspired.
I feel at home.
I've just been able to really grow and really embed myself in this community.
It's really great to find innovative, like-minded people
That are always looking to create something new.
People might call us nerdy.
It is nerdy, but I love it.
We know how to have fun.
I think our biggest tradition is being untraditional.
I've learned how to problem solve and improvise, how to make my next move. I just love being in Dallas.
Dallas has so many opportunities.
There's so much to see and explore.
You can find inspiration everywhere. My professors taught me how to take a tiny idea and build it into a full-fledged business.
This school has been so special to me. I'm so glad I'm a Comet.
I think the future calls us to embrace the unknown.
To be bold.
To be bold.
To be different.
To be different.
The future demands different.
Hello, first generation students, families, friends, and supporters, and welcome to First Generation Family Orientation 2025, brought to you by the UT Dallas Office of Undergraduate Education, First Generation Student Programs, and our partners with Capital One Bank. My name is Derek Jackson, and I'm an assistant director here in the Office of Undergraduate Education, and I oversee First Generation Student Programs, First Generation Family Orientation, where I will be your host, guiding you and your family through this presentation. First Generation Family Orientation brings your family into the Comet family by introducing you to First Generation student supporters like myself, as well as very special and important resources that you can use today to jumpstart your academic journey here at UT Dallas. We're also going to work together to expose what's called the hidden curriculum. The hidden curriculum are all those unwritten rules about how to do something that you aren't explicitly told. Now, what that means is, let's say you went to a fancy dinner party and you have all of these forks, all these spoons, and all these plates. You're thinking to yourself, well, how do I do this? I just take a fork, I take a spoon, and I start eating. But at a fancy dinner party, you have to start from the outside and work your way in. But if you don't know that, then you might start off a little bit behind. You may get some dirty looks, like this person doesn't know what to do in this setting. That's the hidden curriculum, and that is what we work together to uncover. Now, we're going to talk a lot about that during the presentation and also throughout the course of your journey. And I want to send a very special thank you to the families. You watching this here live on YouTube, you here that are joining us, thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting us in our academic journey. I am a first generation college graduate from UT Dallas, and I would not be where I am today if not for the support of my family. The family is such a personal and integral part in our success. That's why we want to include you in the process and the journey as well. If you are joining us live in person on August 16th, you are in the Davidson Gundy Alumni Center here at UT Dallas, but I am coming to you from inside the UT Dallas Comets Landing. This is our esports arena and our esports studio here on campus, brand new building. I am a big fan of video games. I'm a big nerd, so I couldn't help myself. I'm going to be recording today from Comets Landing. When you get a chance, I hope you come by and check us out. If you are joining us live on the YouTube channel, First Generation Comets, thank you for joining us. And if you have a moment, take a minute to, of course, give us a like and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss an upload. Also, stick around for our live Q&A that's going to be taking place immediately after this broadcast. And this is a YouTube live premiere event, so our chat feature is enabled. Feel free to chat with us. We've got supporters here live in the chat ready to talk with you. With all that said, welcome to the program, and we've got a lot of great content here for you today, and I will be right back to explain what we are going to dive into. So sit back, relax. Welcome to UT Dallas, and welcome to the Comet Family. Now, I think it would be extremely valuable, Comet families, for me to take a few minutes to share some insights about the UT Dallas campus culture and what your student might expect here. I was asked by the dean of my alma mater, the School of Behavior and Brain Sciences, what the connecting tissue is for students here at UT Dallas. At the time of this video airing, today is August 16th, 2025. That is 14 years to the day that I first stepped foot on the UTD campus. Having spent 14 years here as an undergraduate student, graduate student, and professional, I can confidently tell you, first generation families, that UT Dallas has a unique culture. Yes, we prioritize our academics and our career development, but we have a rich culture of arts, supporting each other, and yes, nerddom. We love our video games, we love our anime, we love our hobbies. Don't believe me? Check out the brand new esports building here on campus. It's awesome. UT Dallas is a place where we can be ourselves. And yes, we do have social lives as well. UT Dallas publicly talks about rankings, low student debt, the high quality of our students, research, and our value. There are many reasons why we attract highly motivated students like yours. They often come in with a clear set of expectations of what they hope to achieve and how they will achieve it. Our culture is a great fit for that type of student. We are often not the last stop for our undergraduates. During their time here, they innovate and they prepare for the next stages of their lives, which in many cases includes going into positions above entry level in their respective fields and enrolling into graduate or professional schools like law school and medical school. It sounds cliche, but in this role, I have never worked a single day because seeing your students succeed makes my work fun because we get to see great students achieve great things. Now, it can add additional pressures on your student to be perfect or the best, and we sometimes hear from students that it can feel like they are competing with each other. This is common, we see this a lot, and it's okay. We know that this can make students feel like a failure if they do not perceive themselves as good as their peers, which is untrue. Keep in mind, Comet families, first generation Comets, you were accepted into UT Dallas. You have arrived. So staying positive and not stressed requires good habits early and a willingness to recognize when to change behaviors, when to reach out, and identify a campus resource for support. That is where you, Comet families, and our team come in. As you can see, there are a few images here of what our students do and what they perceive all of their peers are doing, and not only doing it, but many of our students assume that students participating in competitive programs, winning competitions, and earning high grades comes easily to everybody. And sometimes they think it comes easier to everybody but them. That is something that I can relate to because that was me as a first generation student here at UT Dallas. However, in reality, I present to you this image, the iceberg of success. Every student we've ever worked with has experienced what you see here on the screen. In our programs, we've engaged thousands of students, and I've personally worked with hundreds, and sometimes it feels like I've written hundreds of letters of recommendation. So don't let it fool you. While it may seem like students earn the highest possible GPA of 4.0 easily, that's not always true in every semester of their career. And they all have really rich stories when they finish here at UT Dallas. I've never met a single student who has had absolutely no worries, no challenges, no times of stress. So while people may only see the accomplishments, there are a lot of things going on beneath the surface for many, if not all, of our first generation students, and it makes us better coming out on the other side. With that said, here's some things to look out for. If you notice in your student any hygiene issues, if your student avoids conversations about grades or friends, and if you have to ask why it's hard to get details, recommend that they set an appointment with us and meet with our team. If you notice they've been wearing the same pajama pants for the last 3 straight days, that could be a sign of stress. So please ask what they're worried about or refer them to us or the counseling center. Now, if your student only talks about going to class, classes, faculty, I met X professor, I did Y thing today in class, or only talks about socializing and joining clubs, going to the esports arena every day, make sure that they have a good balance and are doing well in both areas and not too much too soon in just one area. New friendships and activities on campus and studying and doing internships, research, that can all seem a little bit scary, threatening, or even unnecessary because it might keep them online, it might keep them away from home more, or it may keep them out of class more. But those relationships and those experiences are so valuable, and those activities can actually contribute to better job prospects post-graduation, which might mean more money right out of school. So families, show your excitement about your students' engagement and encourage their balance. If you ask about any of the topics shown here and you have any concerns, refer your students to us or recommend one of the great resources that you'll learn about today. Okay, so next, a few final reminders before we really dive into the content today. Families, expect changes in your student as a person and possibly in their career goals or their major. They may change their major. This is not uncommon at all. They may decide they want to go into a different field later on. That is the beauty of higher education. We provide an environment where students can explore themselves, what they're interested in, where their strengths are, and importantly, what they do not want to do after graduation. The most important thing is to not panic. I'll talk about this here in the next segment, but trust the process and instead encourage all of the wonderful changes because they already want to make you proud. So fear of disappointing you can also cause additional stress. Remember, the goal is for your student to be independent and happy after graduation, regardless of their major or chosen career path. Remember, we offer special advising for students that want to be lawyers or go into medicine. And we have a wonderful career center that is here today that can help your students understand their job options. When in doubt, refer to us. Now, listen, I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot toot, because after doing this for many years, after being at UT Dallas, we've accumulated a wealth of resources and information. As a first generation student, I now have the privilege of passing on information to the next generation of students. And if we do not know the answer, we can connect you and your student to a first generation student supporter who does know the answer, or what needs to be done so that you and your student do not have to navigate getting the answers alone. The font displayed on this screen is just a little tiny, but that's just to show you the long list of resources our amazing campus has to offer you and your student. And if you refer your student to us, we can connect them to the individuals in all of these important areas. Now, I know I've talked about the stress and the pressures that a high-achieving campus can cause, but another benefit of our campus culture is that there is no negative stigma to taking advantage of people and programs that are here to support you. Your student may assume, oh, no one's going to ask the professor questions at the class. No one's going to the Student Success Center to get tutoring. No one is going to the counseling center when they feel down or reaching out to Derek and them. I can say confidently, as someone who's seen the list of hundreds of students in the departments, and in some cases, thousands of students who use our resources every single year, that the students that want to succeed and do really well after graduation are the ones who took advantage of every resource that they could and did so without hesitation to make sure that they accomplish their goals. So please help us make sure that your student does so as well. Basically, we're here for you and your student, and we look forward to going on this journey with you together. Okay, so now that we've got a little bit more context for what it's like to be a student at UT Dallas, I want to transition into tips for families. So these are tips that, based on my experience, both as a student working with my family and as a professional in higher education, that we've come up with to jumpstart your support for your scholar here at UT Dallas. So tip number one, trust your student. Your student is capable. They have been accepted into UT Dallas. This is one of the most rigorous undergraduate institutions in the state, in the nation, and they have been accepted. That means that they have unimaginable potential and they are meant to be here. So trust your student and trust their ability to succeed here. Tip number two, trust us, the resources and the professionals here at UT Dallas and first generation student programs. We are here for them. Our office is located in the Founders Building, and we will have all of our resources. Your students can book appointments with us, and we will guide them through the process and guide you through the process as well if you have any questions. Tip number three, trust the process. Now, I know that this can be tough at times because the academic journey is not a straight line. I know this from personal experience. It's more like this. But it always ends with your student succeeding and getting their degree. So every student's journey is different, and your support means the world to them because no one knows their student better than you do. So trust the process there. Finally, tip number four is to trust the resources because we have a lot of them. Everything from the Student Success Center, which we'll hear more about later on in the broadcast, to the Student Wellness Center, University Recreation, University Career Center. There are a ton of resources that can seem overwhelming, but that's why we're here. Trust the resources. We have them in abundance, and there is everything that you and your student need to succeed here. So trust your student, trust us, trust the process, trust the resources, and you will be in a fantastic place to support your scholar. Now we're going to get into a little bit of what it's like to be a first-generation student, and then we'll jump into some resources.
Hi everyone, my name is Rexar Chang, and I am a neuroscience undergraduate student here at UTD. So my first piece of advice would probably be to worry about your schedule. Remember that even if you have your classes scheduled and all that, you can still change them. You have till Census Day, and that's just a day where it marks the deadlines of when you can just change your schedule without like a record of it. So you need 12 credits, I'm pretty sure, to be considered a full-time student, which is the status that you want to reach for most people, because like financial aid, scholarships, they do depend on being like a full-time student most of the time. And my counselor suggested that I only take 4 classes, which is like full-time student status, right? But I guess I don't know what I was thinking. I think I just didn't want to do the bare minimum. But in hindsight, there was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing wrong with that, especially as coming in as a freshman. And I should have done that because I think I would have done better in all of my classes because I would have additional study time, right? But I did 1 extra class, and that seems silly, but 1 extra class does change a lot, right? That 1 extra class might be the class you spend the most time studying for, and that takes away time from all your other classes. And it's a whole thing, it's a whole domino thing. And you can just avoid it by being nice to yourself maybe, and sitting down, maybe with your parents and just thinking, can I actually do all of these classes that I'm scheduling? Like, can I actually do it? And maybe some of you can and some of you can't, but it's important to just keep reflecting on it and coming back to it and just being honest. Like, you don't want to be reaching and like really extending those brain power, right? Your first semester when you're just super stressed about everything, it's just not worth it in my opinion. And then my second piece of advice would probably be, it's about your schedule again. Don't overestimate how much time you have in between classes. So maybe you have an hour, 2 hours, and you're like, okay, maybe I can go out and get food. It's not that long. It's not that long, especially with parking and walking to your class. No. And parking was horrible my first year. I'm not gonna lie. I paid for green, which is the least expensive, and they were just the farthest, and I just didn't anticipate each time, every morning I did not anticipate how far the walk was. I just did not learn first semester. I was like, oh, I can do this walk in like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I'm a fast walker. No, I can't. Especially with the science classes from the major green lot, it's farther than you think. And I know that for this year, they've pushed back all of the parking. So like green is just further back from where it is even now. And, oh, important for parents too, I had to have like a sit down conversation with my mom because like in high school, I had some free time senior year, and I did help her out a lot with like my little brother, taking him to football practice, baseball practice, and all that stuff. And I just had to tell her like, I can't do that like in college. Well, it's a further commute for me because I am commuting from home. I don't know if I mentioned that. And I had to sit down with her and tell her like, hey, the 3-hour gap in my schedule does not mean I can like come home and help you or like spend time with you or like spend time with the family and then I could just go back for class. It's just not efficient for me to do that. But also like, I just wanted to make sure she wasn't feeling hurt. Like she wasn't feeling like I'm not spending time with the family willingly. It's just that gap in my schedule is very deceptive. It's not like a true break, especially when you're like, you go to your lecture and you're like, okay, school, like your brain is like school, right? And sometimes it's hard to like sit down and tell yourself it's time to do school. So when you are in like that school mindset, it's best to take that to your advantage, like milk that, like start writing essays, start studying, like when you feel like you're in that mindset, because it's hard to get into sometimes, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. Your breaks are not as long as they seem, and more often than not, it's just not worth driving somewhere else and driving back or doing something else and doing something back, right? Like unless you're like hanging out with friends on campus, then you know, that's different. That's like an hour and you're staying on campus. Parking is a big pain if you're commuting, which I know a lot of first-gen people do commute just because it's more cost-effective, and sometimes you just want to stay with your family and stay close, right? And then another big piece of advice is make friends. Hang out with people, like say hi to the person in the lecture next to you. It changes everything. I think my first semester, freshman year, I definitely was focused on school. Like I was like, okay. And it was fine. Like I had fun. It was all right. But my second semester, I definitely was like, okay. Like I felt less stressed about like knowing where my classes are, less stressed about, you know, first semester at college. Like I had a little bit of groove going on second semester. So I talked to a lot more people in my lecture halls, and it made the world different. Like it was so much more fun to go studying in the library. It was so much more fun to go to lectures. Like it gives you a nice reason to go, like accountability. You know what I mean? Like you don't want your friends asking you, where are you? Like, why are you late? Like you're there. It also provides a nice stress-free outlet, you know? Like it's no fun being a loner and just going through school, just studying. Like you're gonna burn out most likely, right? And then on the topic of relationships, building a relationship with your faculty is also really important. Not only for academic reasons, like getting your recommendation letter and etc., but also because building a relationship with your faculty ensures that you feel comfortable around them, right? It also ensures that they understand that you're trying and you care about their class and you're not just slacking off. So then in the future, like maybe you do really well like the first few weeks, right? And then maybe you go into a roadblock. Either you don't understand the content that's going on or there's something going on at home. It makes it easier for you to talk to your professor and like tell them what's going on because you've already established a relationship with them. And it makes them understand like, hey, this isn't just you messing around, you're trying. This is truly a hard topic for you, but you're trying. Or there's actually something going on at home, and that's why things aren't going as smoothly as they were in the beginning. And the faculty here at UTD, at least from all of my classes, they've all been super nice. I haven't had a bad experience with one of them. An important faculty member for me to keep in mind is definitely like your STEM professors, just because I know if you're applying to med school, you need at least one recommendation letter from a science professor. And then also from Mr. Derek. He's a very nice resource to have. He gives great advice. He's very nice, very approachable. He has a very cool office. If you like Spider-Man, it's a very cool office, you know? It's a nice break from all the modern things here at UTD. I think that's all my advice that I have for everyone. I'm sure everyone will do great. I don't have any doubts.
Okay. All right, so one of, if not the most important thing about being a college student and supporting a college student, especially a first generation student, is paying for college. This is something that is at the top of our list when it comes to supporting our students. And that's why I want to introduce you to two of our supporters from the Office of Financial Aid and the Office of the Bursar. So the way you can think about it is the Office of Financial Aid is the office that gives you money to pay for college. The Office of the Bursar is the office that takes your money. Now, I kid a little bit, but it's important to know who these people are and know that they are supporters for you and your student. Receiving aid and then making sure everything is paid for so your student can focus on their classes and getting involved. So, I want to introduce you to two supporters, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
All right, Comet families, I am here with our wonderful supporter from the Office of Financial Aid, Sarah. Thank you for joining us, Sarah, for First Generation Family Orientation. I just have a few questions for you for the families and the incoming first gen students out there. Kicking us off, could you just give a little overview of the services provided by the Office of Financial Aid?
Sure, yeah, happy to be here and be speaking with all of y'all today. So our office helps with the financial aid process. So that's everything from completing your application, whether that be the FAFSA application for our citizens or permanent residents, or our TASPA applications for our Texas residents who don't fall into those other categories. So we start with that application. Our office receives the application and then determines what type of financial aid a student may be eligible to receive, and gets that all packaged on there for their accounts, make sure that the documentation that we're needing has been submitted and accurately reviewed, and so that we can give the most amount of financial aid that is available to our students. And that helps facilitate the payment process for school. We know it's not cheap. So every little bit of financial aid that we can offer students definitely helps. Our office is there just to make sure that that process is easy as possible for you, and that we're giving you all of the aid that you're eligible to receive.
And so one of the things that we really want to drive home is making sure that we're taking a look at our email inboxes and being on the lookout for communication from the Office of Financial Aid. Could you touch a little bit on why it's important for students to be checking their emails for any type of communication from the office?
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. All of our communication that's going to go to the student is going to go directly to that UT Dallas email address. So you do want to make sure that you are checking it regularly, making sure that we have any emails that we've sent you have been reviewed. Maybe we're asking for additional documentation. Maybe we're telling you that you've been packaged and you need to go review and accept your aid. All of that communication is going to go straight to the UT Dallas email address. And then same too on the reverse side. If you're wanting to get in touch with our office, that email also needs to come from the UT Dallas email address, just so that we're making sure that we're talking to the right student, and giving you the most accurate and up-to-date information. So it's very important to be checking that and using that email regularly.
Yes, very important, everyone. Make sure you're checking that email. If you see an email from the Office of Financial Aid, more than likely our supporters there are reaching out to help you get your aid packages. Or if there's a question, they wanted to reach out to get that conversation started. I remember very vividly being at the kitchen table with my mother. And my mom, she did not go to college. So she was there and we were filling out the FAFSA. I was showing her the emails and all that. And I remember being like, hey, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I have the answers to some of the questions that they may be asking. So what we're really trying to do is encourage the families to feel empowered when students are going through this process. Could you talk a little bit about how families can also support the student's journey and reaching out to the Office of Financial Aid?
Absolutely. Well, that starts definitely with the application itself. There's a lot of students who are going to need parent information on the application or for a parent to complete a section of the application. So just being available and willing to complete the application to start with is a great help to your students. It's not making you financially obligated in any way to the school. It is just making sure that your student is receiving as much financial aid as they are eligible for. And then once they've been packaged or they're getting these communications from our office, just being there as a sounding board to see what exactly it is that we're asking for or what we've been able to provide to the student. And then empowering your student to reach out to our office if they have any sort of questions and just stand in their corner and be there with them.
It is it's a team effort. Families, I do want to point out that your student has their very own financial aid counselor. On the screen now, you will see a little bit of what the financial aid website looks like. Families, your student has a dedicated financial aid counselor that they can reach out to if they have any questions. Encourage your student to reach out to them. Like, hey, have you reached out to your financial aid counselor? Do you see a package that you aren't very sure what to do with this package? Do you need to accept all of your aid or only some of it? These are questions that are very likely to come up. So we just want to encourage the families to make sure that we are reminding our students to reach out to their supporters.
Just that we are there available for you. So if you have any questions at all at any point in the process, reach out to our office. We're available by phone. That's usually the easiest way to get a hold of us. We're also, of course, available by email where you can make an appointment or walk into one of our virtual meetings. So we are definitely available and willing to help all of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Before we move on to the next segment, I just want to remind everyone that scholarships, those applications tend to open after the school year started. I think it's around October or so. And the Office of Financial Aid handles those disbursements as well. So the Financial Aid Office is your one-stop for all things paying for college. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our office or the Office of Financial Aid. All right, families, now I am here with one of our first-generation student supporters from the bursar office, which is probably one of those words that you hadn't heard of until now. So thank you so much for joining first-generation family orientation. Would you mind just kind of introducing yourself and talking a little bit about what exactly is the Office of the Bursar?
Sure, of course. Yeah, pleasure to be here. So to start off, my name is Patrick Cruz. I'm an assistant director at the bursar's office. Really to start off with, what we do is we assess, bill, and collect on tuition and fees. But in addition to that, we're also collecting on any housing, meal plan, and insurance charges that the student may incur each semester. We also maintain a payment portal. It's called Easy Pay, where students go each semester that they pay their balance. In addition to maintaining this portal, we also maintain the background processes of that portal. And then we also allow students to set up things like direct deposit in the event that they need a refund through that portal. Or let's say a student wants to have a parent see their bill or even pay on their behalf. That student is also able to create what's called an authorized user through this payment portal. It's pretty much an all-in-one portal where they can make their payments each semester. It's super easy, and we can usually answer any question you have about that. We haven't experienced anything that we haven't experienced before, essentially.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. Really appreciate it. And with our first-gen families in particular, a lot of times families will serve as authorized users, authorized payments, who are supporting their scholar with payments to the university. And one of the things that I was really looking forward to was having our families and our first-gen students see your friendly face with the bursar office. Could you talk a little bit about why communication is important? Like if a student or family members receive an email from the bursar office, what that might entail and why it's important to follow up on that.
Yep, great question. All right. Yeah, communication is key, especially when you're dealing with deadlines each semester. It can be a little bit overwhelming, considering there's at least 2 to 3 deadlines each semester. We do try to make it as simple as possible, though, in terms of communications. Each semester, we will send out so many communications to a student that they may think they're maybe receiving too much. But that may be, we will send several emails that will either include their payment due dates, their options to pay, and then also our information in those emails. We also will send out billing statements weekly throughout the semester, all the way up to the individual payment deadlines for each student. Phone calls also go out to these students as well. We have a very internal comprehensive schedule where we are constantly sending out students to keep them abreast of these deadlines. Not only that, though, within those emails, we also provide them with information on where you can set up a payment plan. What type of payment plans does the student have available to them? Who can they reach out to if they maybe need more information or if they're not sure on their deadline? Things like that. We also include the academic calendar, which is super important in terms of communications for the students. We put this in every single email that we send out to the student. The reason why is it's got all your important dates on it, especially if a student needs to know whether they need to withdraw and doesn't want to incur any sort of balance. We're here to make sure that they are kept fully aware of those deadlines throughout the semester. Even after, we will still send out reminders. Even if a student is past due, we will still notify them and say, hey, it's okay, you've got a past due balance. We're just letting you know it's still there. We will let the student know throughout that entire process if they have a balance in what they need to do. And if for some reason they haven't seen those communications, they can definitely reach out to us. We are available through phone, email, and we even have a chat now as well that's available from 9 to 4:45 during the week as well.
That's awesome. And again, it's all about communication. Patrick and the team from the bursar office are here to support you. If you ever have any type of balance or just want to be kept up to date about when important dates are coming, they are here for you, because I definitely do not want any of our first generation students to not complete and persist to graduation. And we know that the family is a big part of that.
We do make it possible for the parent to reach out regarding a student's bill through that authorized user method in EasyPay. As long as you are setting up an authorized user, the parent is able to log into the student's account and view their bill at any time. They can even make the payment for the student. The student doesn't even have to log in at all. The parent can do anything they need to. If they have any questions, they can still reach out to our office too. It's not strictly just the student email. A parent can reach out as long as they are an authorized user. If they are an authorized user and they have a question on the bill for the student, we will be more than happy to let them know that or answer. Also, as long as we have permission from the student to speak to that parent, we have no problem explaining a bill or any of the charges that are on there. There are so many ways that they can reach out that, you know, I can't count at this point. But we are definitely available for parents. We want to make sure that they're able to guide the student through this process and that the student is able to have as least amount of pressure as possible while they're trying to just go ahead and take their classes.
And the academic calendar is available here at this event. It has all of those important dates on there. Well, Patrick, thank you so very much. We will make sure that our first-gen families are aware that they can reach out to you. And families, talk to your scholar about becoming an authorized user, especially if you are supporting their journey with payments to university. Talk to your scholar about making sure that we're all on the same page. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to First Gen or the bursar office. Thank you so much for joining us, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
One of the resources that we want our first generation students to get involved with immediately is the Student Success Center, a dedicated resource for all things peer and student success academically. I love the Student Success Center. That place is amazing. And we offer a variety of services, from one-on-one peer tutoring for specific classes, the Writing Center. There is an abundance of resources in the Student Success Center. And take it from me, a former undergraduate student here at UT Dallas. You want to get involved with the Student Success Center early as a student. Families, you want to encourage your student to get involved with the Student Success Center. A lot of times when we think about peer tutoring, we tend to think of it in a way that implies, well, you're not doing well, so you should go to tutoring. When you are in college, it is the opposite. You want to get involved with tutoring so that you can do well and continue to do well. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Mallory Maddock from the Student Success Center, who can explain more about the resources offered and how you can get involved both as a student and as a family member.
Hi, my name is Mallory Maddock. I'm an assistant director in the Student Success Center, and I'm also a first-gen student. I work with a team of colleagues who support student success here at UTD, and in particular, we offer many tutoring programs that students can utilize and take advantage of, especially in their first semester and their first few years at UTD. So what we do here, we have student peer leaders who operate as our tutors, and they are the ones who do the content tutoring. They are the ones who are face-to-face with your students every day. We have 3 different programs that offer support for math and science, and we know that those are some of the most challenging courses for incoming students, and we have 3 different ways that students are able to learn in the Student Success Center. In peer tutoring, it's like a one-on-one drop-in lab, so students can come in, they can ask one question, they can sit, they can hang out, they can work on their homework for a few hours if that's what they want, but it's going to be more like your traditional tutoring that's drop-in, one-on-one, come and go. Then we offer some group cohort style tutoring, and that's going to be our PLTL program. It's a really popular program here at UTD, and students are required to register in advance, so if that's something that you're interested in and your course is supported, you'll get an email and you'll be notified of when registration opens. It gives each student the opportunity to work with a group of 8 students and 1 peer leader every week for 90 minutes. So it is a commitment for the entire semester. Each week you're meeting with this group of students, you're building camaraderie, you are working on practice problems from faculty members, and the peer leader is there to guide the session and work the problems together. In supplemental instruction, it's another program where you're with a big group of students, and what's interesting about that program is that the peer leader has taken the course already. So say for instance you have signed up for accounting and you've got supplemental instruction support, you're going to have a peer leader sitting in your accounting class with you, and then they're going to put together a review session based on what's going on in the class at that time. So it's real-time updates and real-time questions and support for students. Other programs that we have in the Student Success Center include the Writing Center. The Writing Center peer leaders can help you with any stage of the writing process, and they can help you with papers that are being written for class, but they can also help you with personal statements or applications for med school. We get a lot of students that come in who've never really written about themselves, and that's an important thing to be able to do well, so you can get scholarships, so you can go on to your grad programs. We also have the ComLab, and that is a program that offers support for students who need to give presentations, who maybe aren't comfortable speaking in front of a crowd. And then we have academic success coaching, which again is open for all undergraduate students. It's not course related. We found that procrastination is a really big barrier for getting work done for incoming students. So having an accountability buddy can be really helpful, and students can make appointments or they can just drop into the space and meet with a coach one-on-one to kind of set up a plan for success. Students who are interested in getting involved with the SSC, we have a couple of different opportunities. First of all, if you don't visit our programs but you're interested in just experiencing what the SSC does, we offer a lot of different workshops. We have all these peer leaders who are doing the tutoring, and we need to hire peer leaders. So students are welcome to utilize our services if they love something, if they love PLTL and they want to be a PLTL leader. We hire over 200 students each semester to work for us and support their peers. It's a great way to stay involved in campus. It's a great on-campus job opportunity, and it encourages learning. It encourages gaining a lot of those skills that you'll need for whatever you're doing after UTD. But if you're a family member of a first-gen student, Some of the things that you can do to encourage them to be successful at UTD is, first of all, have them visit the Student Success Center. Everybody here is willing to help. If we don't know the answer, we'll find the person who does. Checking in on your student and maybe not asking yes or no questions, asking them, how did you feel about the exam that you just took? How did you feel about going to this event you said you were excited about going to? There are resources on campus available for your student. One of our biggest things that we like to talk about here in the SSC is don't wait until it's too late. So encouraging your student to make the SSC and studying a priority from the beginning can be really helpful. We want them to feel supported, to feel like they have the tools to be successful, and that they're not in this alone.
Another really important outcome for first generation student programs here at UT Dallas is career and workplace readiness. We know that when you send your student to college as a first generation college student and a first generation family, one of your top priorities is, okay, what's going to happen after my student graduates? What type of job are they going to get? Are they going to get a job? Are they going to get an internship? What awaits them for their career? We totally understand that. And in fact, we have an entire team that is dedicated to career development from the University Career Center. Along with the University Career Center, we partner with Capital One to deliver comprehensive programming along with the University Career Center to prepare your student for their career. Now I want to introduce you to 3 supporters who work directly with me and in turn work directly with your student for their career development and career success. So I'm going to turn it over to them, who will explain what they do, as well as some tips for how to get involved.
Hi everyone, my name is Evan Tom. I'm a career advisor at the University Career Center. I meet with students in one-on-one appointments, either virtually or in person, to talk about their career goals and how I can support them through their career journey here. At the UCC, we do a mixture of interview preparation, resume reviews, cover letter, networking, and job and internship search strategies. And we talk through some of the students' goals and how we can target these types of resources to them. We also have an employer team at the University Career Center who builds wonderful relationships with local companies here in the North Texas and across the nation. And we also have an experiential learning team who kind of creates partnerships with local companies to have them here to the campus to engage with students to realize their goals.
Hey first gen students and families, my name is John Westmoreland and I'm a career advisor at the University Career Center. Today I'll give you a quick overview of how first gen students' families can get more in depth with the Career Center in order to help their students attain their career goals. So as a first gen student myself, I know that my parents did not know anything about a University Career Center. So the first thing you can do as parents and families to help your student is just to get informed about the Career Center. Do some research, help your students, encourage them to make appointments so that they're ahead of the game. We want to get students in as early as possible to help them attain their career goals, get their resumes together, start preparing them for interviews, and helping them search for jobs. And with their parents' motivation, that will help them get in the door and help them attain their career goals. Secondly, you can start helping them look for jobs and internships and opportunities based on their career goals. By doing this, you're sending them extra information and letting them know that these opportunities are out there for them to explore. Lastly, just motivate them. Help them, push them, because your support means the world to them. Again, I'm John Westmoreland. I'm a career advisor at the University Career Center, and I want to thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.
Hello first gen college students, my name is Candida Pucci and I'm a career advisor here at the University Career Center. I want to encourage you all to visit the University Career Center early because with that you'll be able to begin your foundation with your career. You can come meet with us to talk a little bit more about what you're wanting to major in, what some career options may be for yourself. Starting off with self-discovery, so exploring your VIPs, values, interests, personality, and skills. You can also get your resume checked out. Take a look at your resume, build a resume if you don't have one, learn a little bit more about networking strategies, networking skills, mock interview skills or interviewing skills. You can also have the opportunity to learn more about job search strategies, internship search strategies, and how to become well-rounded on campus alone. We provide so much support for you all so that way you can, have that career prepared for yourself once you all graduate. Welcome to University of Texas at Dallas. I hope you have a great time.
Academic advising. This is something that you've probably heard a lot about, especially if you've already attended the freshman or transfer orientation for UT Dallas. Your student has met with an academic advisor to get enrolled for classes. Now, academic advising is critically important. These are first generation supporters that make sure that everything that you do is according to the degree plan. Making sure you take the right classes, making sure that if you want to get involved, here's how that can contribute to your degree plan. But we want to spend a little bit more time on academic advising through our presentation from the perspective of a first generation student. What does it mean to get involved with an academic advisor? How often should you be seeing your academic advisor? And how can you, the families watching this video, make sure that your student stays involved with academic advising? What questions could you be asking? And how can we support our students together to make sure that they're getting the most out of their academic advising? So I want to introduce you to our next first generation student supporter who will tell us a little bit more about it.
Hi everybody, my name is Alejandra Gutierrez and I am the graduate advisor for the School of Economic, Policy and Political Sciences here at the University of Texas at Dallas. Hola, mi nombre es Alejandra Gutierrez, soy la consejera académica de posgrado para la Facultad de Economía, Póliza y Ciencias Políticas. One of the most important things while you are a student here at UT Dallas is for you to meet with your academic advisor. Your academic advisor is your North Star. She or he will guide you through your entire journey here on campus, from resources to financial aid, to scholarships, to research, to anything that you may need. They may not have all the answers, but they will definitely have the point of contact you will need for anything in your journey here at UTD. So as you start your journey here, make sure you know who your academic advisor is. Make it a point to visit with them at least once or twice a semester. Some of you will have your advisors as your freshman seminar professors. Make sure you meet with them. Make sure that they know who you are. It is very important that you make it a point for you to reach out to them. Remember, you are not the only one on this campus. There are over 13,000 students, so it is up to you to make sure you connect with your advisor. Additionally, if you are a pre-health or a pre-med student or pre-law student, you have a secondary set of advisors. You have an advising center for health professionals, and you have an advising center for pre-law advising. So make sure you seek out those resources in time. Make sure you're making those meetings, like I said, once or twice a semester. If you have that secondary advising center that you need to meet with them 1 to 2 times a semester. Comet Family. You as a parent or as a supporter of our Comets on campus, make sure you recommend and you guide your student to their academic advisors. Registration opens in November for spring registration, and it opens in March for fall registration. Make sure you are asking your student if they've made connection with their advisor. This is how you can support your student here on campus for future endeavors.
Now, the reality of attending college, especially as a first generation student, especially as a family that's supporting a student, is that sometimes life happens. Things come up that are potential obstacles. We need some support beyond your typical academic advising or any of the other resources that we have. Maybe it's the case that a student has a bill and we're trying to figure out how we can pay it. Maybe there's a hold on a student's account and we're trying to figure out who to contact. If your student does not know where to go, we want to introduce you to the Graduation Help Desk. Graduation Help Desk is a one-stop shop for everything to make sure that this journey that you are about to embark on ends in a diploma with your degree. Make sure that if there is any barrier, anything that you can think of that we cannot solve on our own, we call in the Graduation Help Desk and they will support us in finding a solution. We've never had a situation where we haven't been able to. With that said, I want to introduce you to Roshane, who can tell us a little bit more about the Graduation Help Desk.
Hi everyone, my name is Roshane Mohammed. I am the Program Specialist for the Graduation Help Desk here at UT Dallas. Over at the Graduation Help Desk, we are a one-stop resource for students who face any extenuating circumstances that kind of delay their path to graduation, or if they need any guidance to make sure that they reach all their academic goals and are able to get to graduation successfully. We also have a lot of partnerships with other on-campus resources to make sure that all the needs and resources that students are in need of are available to them. We reach out to students to make them aware of what these resources are, where they can go, and who they can speak to. Contrary to what you might think about our name, the Graduation Help Desk, we actually don't help with the actual act of graduation, rather everything leading up to it, just to make sure you have all the resources and support that you need. We'll follow through with you and check in as needed and offer any support and resources to ensure that you are successful here at UT Dallas.
On behalf of all of our supporters and first generation student programs, UT Dallas and Capital One Bank, we want to thank you for attending first generation family orientation. Thank you for watching this video. This is just the beginning of our support for you and your first generation scholar. Once again, if you are watching here on YouTube, please give us a like and a subscribe so that you never miss an upload. We plan on releasing more videos throughout the next academic year, including ones from students and our supporters as well. Now, if you are here in person, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to get started with our live Q&A from some of our supporters. If you're watching on the First Generation Comments YouTube channel, we will drop that link to join the live Q&A where you can submit your questions. We also have that ready for you via email so that you can join us for the Q&A. We want to thank you for attending, thank you for trusting us, and thank you for this partnership. We really, really appreciate it. And once again, welcome to the Comet family. Whoosh.